Hello everyone, welcome to the Aural Theory series. My name is Dr. Julia Alford. For today, I have for you a two-part chromatic melodic dictation. And in this particular dictation, we are going to look at enharmonic spelling differences. So we are going to have a pitch that will be a sharp pitch, and then it will be the enharmonic equivalent flat pitch. And so we're going to talk about how do you know which spelling of the note to use. Okay, so this dictation is in G major. It's 4/4. The bass line is really simple. Okay, the complication is going to come in the right hand. So set up your rhythmic marks, set up your starting pitches. We're going to be in G major. And we're going to start 2 octaves apart. All right, so how we're going to do this. We are going to do 1 listening for the left-hand rhythm, and then we're going to do 2 listenings for the right-hand rhythm, and then we're going to break it in half, okay? So you have to do the rhythm all at once, but we'll split the dictation into halves because it is kind of complicated and there's a lot going on, and I want to take a chance to talk about it. So let's get into it. By the way, if you need to, I encourage you to pause in between listenings and get your answers worked out on the paper. And also go to the description below and you can click on the time code to go backwards to repeat listenings, or you can jump to the end if you've got the answer and you just want to see if you got it right. Okay, so either is fine by me. By the way, while you're circling around listening to me and I have your full attention, click that subscribe button. I post a new video a couple of times a week, and I would love for you to come along with me on this melodic dictation, sometimes harmonic dictation, aural theory journey. Okay, great. Let's get into it. So bass rhythm, again, ridiculously simple. So you'll get it. You should be able to get it in 1. If not, you can take a second listening if you would like. 3E and 4E and Got it? If not, grab another listening. We're going to go forward and do the right hand rhythm, okay? So 2 listenings for the right hand. 3E and 4E and okay? Second listening for the rhythm. Again, grab more listenings if you need them. Here we go. 3E and 4E and okay, let's break it up. Again, make sure you have the rhythm nice and solid. If you don't, grab more listenings, but we're going to go on. So now we're going to break it up. We are going to stop on the beat 3 of measure 2. Okay, good. So let's do the left hand bass line. We'll do 2 listenings. 3E and 4E. Okay. Second listening for the left hand. 3E and 4E and okay. There's a chromatic pitch in there. Hopefully you caught it. If you didn't catch, if you're like, what the heck's going on? There's a chromatic pitch. So go back and grab another listening, but let's look at the bass line. Do, re, mi, sol. That is all just tonic expansion, right? So we have 1, passing tone, 1, 6, or you could just think of all that as 1, to a 5, and then we have this chromatic pitch. So we have to decide, is it a D sharp or is it an E flat? What's the next note? The next note is an E. So if you listen to it as a whole, your chromatic training should hopefully tell you that that is some kind of 5/6 of 6, because it's going up. A lot of times when you go up, you use a sharp, but it's also, if it was a flat, it would be mode mixture, but this isn't mode mixture, and it's an applied motion chord. So we're going to use the D sharp here to an E. Okay, so we're going D, D sharp, E, so sol, si, la, and then we end on fa. Okay, so that suggests that we're starting to get into our predominant section. So we have an applied chord of 6 and then fa, so that could be a 4 or it could be a 2/6. Okay, so let's grab the right hand. We're going to do 3 listenings, so make sure you keep that probable harmonic progression in mind. Remember, it's melodic dictation. We don't have the right hand, so all of it's probable, but the probabilities are pretty strong in classical music. There's a lot we can predict from knowing the patterns, which is what I love to teach, because that helps you make guesses, and guesses reduce anxiety. You can make good educated guesses. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in and keep those harmonies in mind and keep checking your vertical patterns. Okay, we start on do and do. 3E and 4E and okay. Second listening. If you need to pause, try and sing it back, but you might need another listening to do that. 3E and 4E and last listening. If you need to back up and grab more listenings. Actually, before we go on, let's talk about it. So it's all going down, and then you have this leap on beat 4. But it resolves down. And then it's all stepwise. Okay? So think about that, pause, take a look at everything, and last listening for the right hand. 3E and 4E and okay? Good. Take a look at the answer. 3, 2, 1. Here you go. So we're going do, ti, ti, la, sol, mi, do. All descending, and we outline that one chord on beat 3, and then we have D, F, A, C, which resolves down to mi as it should, but that becomes, so we have this 5/7 motion that usually goes to 1 or would go to a deceptive motion to 6, but we're inserting this secondary dominant chord, which would be a 5/7 of 6 would be a B, B, D sharp, F sharp, A. So an A is the 7th. So we get this 6. We don't quite know because it's an octave. Okay, so we don't know what that chord is, but let's get the bass line. I bet you can get this bass line in 1 listening, maybe 2. I'll give you 2. Why not? Okay, before we get into it, now you're going to hear something chromatic, but it's not a secondary dominant. So if it's not, I mentioned this word before, if it's not a secondary dominant and it's chromatic, it's probably mode mixture. Okay, we're in major, we're going to start borrowing from the minor. So think about the key for G minor. We have two flats, B flat, E flat. So you might expect one or both of those to come into play here. 1 E and 2 E and okay. One more time. So we've got Fa, and then we skip up and we step down to Sol, right? So think about the minor. We're skipping up and we're going down by step. So what would that note be? Good. 1 E and 2 E and okay. And we have the half note at the end, and we end on Do. So we have Sol, Do at the end. Okay, so let's take a look at this bass line. So we start on Fa, and then we are skipping up to lay. What is lay? What pitch is lay? La is E. If we lower that by a half step, we get E flat. Now look at this. Before we had D sharp, I think it's over here for you, probably somewhere in here. And then over here, we have E flat. I might have that first. We'll see how it works out on the camera. I don't know. So E flat is lay in G minor, and also G major in G, really. So here we write it as an E flat because that's what makes sense in the key. So if you were to put this on test for me and you put D sharp and then put D sharp again, I would mark that second one wrong because that's not understanding that, okay, here we are in the melodic minor. That being said, let's do the right hand. So listen for when the melodic minor actually starts, because it comes in the right hand before the left hand. There's your hint. 1 E and 2 E and okay. You might also hear that it brightens up before we get to the last chord. So we're kind of predicting the return to the major on beat 2. I'll just give you that hint, okay? Second listening. 1 E and 2 E and okay? One more listening. 1 E and 2 E and okay? Grab more listings if you need them. We're gonna look at the answer in 3, 2, 1. All right, so we start Fa, La, Lay, so minor 4, Sol, Fa, so really 4, 6, Fa, Do, Ti, Do, Re, Mi. That major 3, the major quality is coming back. Mi, Do. Okay, good. I hope that this helped clarify enharmonic equivalents in melodic dictation for you. If it did, if you found it helpful, please do again click the subscribe button and leave me a comment, questions, anything that you didn't quite understand, or just say hello. I would love to hear from you. And last but not least, please check out my website, auraltheory.com, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.